I always focus on speaking. I always encourage them to speak from the very first day, right? And I focus on activities like storytelling. I provide them pictures, random pictures, whatever comes to my mind, or I just randomly search from internet and provide them the picture, and I ask them to describe the picture in their own words. Sometimes I ask them to not just describe that there is a tree, there is a box, but try to make a story around it, to take their creative side out. So that would they feel really content after that, that I'm able to make a story out of it. Because this is very childish thing, when people say that there is a table, there is a chair, there is a board. These are very basic sentence, right? But if you want to level up, so you have to bring out your creative thinking as well. You have to think out of the box. So storytelling is what definitely help you in your speaking as well. When you're able to tell a story, so that will help you in setting the tone of your language, your speaking, right? Another thing I do, I give them challenges. Like they have to record their video every day. I give them topics. So that challenge will also help them in building their confidence, right? And then there are some spontaneous topics and jam techniques that everyone is using. And I don't focus much on grammar. And whatever I feel like, if there is a requirement that the other person is making a lot of grammar mistake, then I help them understand the concept and try to try to help them in using that in their speaking. So
Hi, good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Yes, ma'am, pretty well. I'm doing
Hmm.
fantabulous in my life. Thanks for your kind concern. And I'm really excited because being a homemaker, you are managing multiple things. And yes, so I have some questions for you. So may I ask?
Surely, surely. I would love to answer.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I just want to know about your English journey. Like, how did you start? When did you start? And what are the obstacles you faced in your initial stage? And how did you tackle all those obstructions?
Sure. So every time when I have to narrate my story of spoken English, I really feel very excited about it, because my journey has been marvelous till now, and it is miraculous at the same time. I never realized that I'm learning English, because I started this journey 2 to 3 months ago, when I was in a situation wherein I was feeling so frustrated. I was not able to do anything on my own, totally juggling up with household things and kids responsibilities, but then also I have that zeal to do something on my own in my life. I've already tried my hands at different things like businesses and all, but due to family responsibilities, I was not able to continue with it. But then, out of the blue, this thought struck my mind that I can do something in English itself, like teaching online from the comfort of my own home. And I stumbled upon a YouTube video wherein people were practicing their English with each other. So I approached one of the YouTubers and I practiced my English with them. That was my first conversation, and I had this instant realization that I'm lacking in confidence. And earlier than this, I was pretty confident in my life. I have worked in corporate as well for 2.5 years, and I was confident enough. But then, after a gap of 5 long years, I've become really timid and reserved and lacking a lot of confidence. And that realization made me do something for my own. So from then, I also created my YouTube channel, and I've been working on that YouTube channel for regular basis. Like on regular basis, I'm working on that for this 2 to 3 months. Every day, I'm having conversation with some or the other learner and practicing my English with them. With interactions, I'm learning a lot. Like with every interaction, I'm learning vocabularies in context, right? Their perspective, and I'm having a platform to share my perspective with people around the world, because it's not just we both are talking, but many people are watching us, right? So I'm able to share my thoughts. So that's my journey. My journey has been marvelous, I would say. And obstacles, I don't think I've faced any such obstacles in that, because when you have that zeal to achieve something, somehow you take some time out and you do whatever it takes, right? It's just that you have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to, bring whatever in your mind on your mouth. So that little practice is required. If you'll do this small steps every day, that small, if you'll, dedicate a small time of yours to English speaking every day, maybe half an hour every day or 1 hour every day at least, you'll not find it as an obstacle or as a chore, right? Taking 1 hour in a day is pretty easy. So just dedicate that 1 hour completely to English and other things you're already doing in your life. So you'll never feel it like a chore. You'll never find all these things like obstacles. So that is about me. I never felt it like obstacles. I'm totally enjoying it. And I always set realistic goals, right? I face the reality that it will take time. You need to have patience, the level of fluency you want. Everybody wants their level of fluency as per their standard, as per their level, right? Whatever level you are at right now, you have different, you want to level up every day, right? So that will require patience. So that patience you need to have and just enjoy the process. You'll never feel English as a chore, or you'll never find any obstacles challenging in your life. Always be solution oriented. So that's what I wanted to say.
Wow, that's really great. I'm totally fascinated and mesmerized the way you have narrated your English channel. And the one thing that made me astound is I have talked with many co-learners. I have talked with many professionals that, and in their initial stage as well, they have faced so many hindrance when it comes to learning this language. But in your case, you said like you didn't face such kind of hindrance, and that's something which made me quite dubious. But okay, that's fine. Maybe you are lucky, or you have been doing it for long. But again, second question was trigger in my mind that. As I can see that your accuracy is too good. So I want to know from your side, like when it comes to grammar, how much grammar is required in order to speak English fluently? Or
Hmm.
does grammar really matter for those who are more into spoken English?
Hmm. Right. That's a very interesting question and a very common question in English community as well. I would say before starting my journey of spoken English, that's 2 to 3 months ago. Before this, I was speaking in English, but all wrong, like without the knowledge of grammar. I was using this past form of verb with did also. Like there is a concept that we have to use base form of verb with did when the sentence is having did, right? But I was using all wrong throughout my life, right? But I was speaking. Initially, you have to keep on speaking no matter whatever mistakes you are making in your speaking, right? So I was doing the same thing with confidence. I was making mistakes and every now and then, and my husband used to keep on correcting me. But then also I was that rigid that I am right. I was pretty confident that I am right, and I don't used to listen to him, right? But then I thought a little more confidence you require when you feel that you are accurate in your grammar concept, right? When you feel that, yes, I've said something right, you feel even more confident. So I thought I should, try my hands at grammar also, to the extent I am feeling interested in grammar. So I started with tenses. And when I read about tenses, when I understand the concept of tenses, I found that I was making many mistakes with tenses, and those are very easy to understand. So tenses is one of the most important thing that you need to understand. Not before, I would say before, not before starting. You have to start speaking from the very first day. Don't think about grammar, but in that journey, try to try your hands at tenses, because that is very important. If you'll use wrong tense in whatever context you want to say, if you want to convey a present thing to someone and you're using past tense in that present situation, right? In present situation, you're using past tense. So that will not make sense to the listener. They'll get even more confused. So knowledge of tenses is very important. So start with that. And then articles, a and the, where to use a, where to use an and the, right? And then prepositions like at, under, in, all that. So these are very basic and very easy grammar concepts that you must practice on, right? And then keep on practicing. Start from the very first day, and throughout the journey keep on practicing all these things. And when you'll immerse yourself in English, like while watching, reading, writing and all that, you'll get to know about it even more in context. So observation skill is very important. Whatever you are watching, observe the patterns and then incorporate all that in your speaking. Try to understand what patterns they have been using there. and try to make similar sentences with that. So this is how grammar will help you. You need not to sit separately for grammar, but learn while enjoying the process. So that's the thing.
Oh, that's really great answer you have given for grammar because since I started learning this language till now, it's been a controversial topic in question for me that what shall I do for it? Thank you. And another question which pop up in my mind that is there are two things. One is pronunciation and second one is accent. I just want to know from your side, what do you think? What are the difference between pronunciation and accent? Which
Hmm.
one is more important for us? And if anyone wants to improve his pronunciation, so how he could do that?
Hmm. I'll talk about pronunciation first, and pronunciation will come for the beginners. Pronunciation will come from the shadowing practice because they don't know the right pronunciation of particular complex words. They know like the pronunciation of simple word, but not complex word. So through shadowing practice, through imitating the good speaker, whatever they are, whosoever they are watching, imitate their proper accent, their proper pronunciation, expressions, intonation, voice modulation, and then you'll get to know, right? How to pronounce that particular word. You'll get to know from there. And when you'll repeat that, so your tongue will also get habit to pronounce that word in that particular way. So pronunciation, this sharing practice will help you in pronunciation. And this is the only thing I must say, because you'll start with reading and writing and everything, but when you don't know the correct pronunciation of that particular word, it will not help you anyway. So you need to hear the pronunciation and then practice it, right? For pronunciation is this thing. And for accent, like people have different kind of accent. Someone has British, and some people have American, and then we have our Indian accent. I feel that Indian accent is perfect, right? It is a kind of clear accent. Sometimes we are not able to understand British and American accent because they speak very fast, and they somehow eat some words or seem some letters in between, some pronunciations in between, right? But Indian accent is quite clear. So I am always with Indian accent. And it totally depends on people whosoever, whatsoever accent they like, right? They can definitely go with that. But accent comes later in spoken English journey. You have to work on your pronunciation first and your speaking first, and later on, as a decorative part, you can add accent to your voice. Just that.
That's really great. Thanks for clearing that doubt because I'm still thinking like, what shall I go for? Shall I give preference to pronunciation and shall I go for learning an accent? But thanks, you gave me a very good clarification for it. Now, next question for you is that I think words have some magical power. So if anyone wants to enhance his vocab power, at the same time, he wants to use those vocab in his day-to-day spoken English. How he can do it? Because many times when I talk with co-learners, they have been complaining like, "Sir, we have learned so many vocabs, but when it comes to implementation, incorporation of those vocabs in our practical spoken English, we are totally blank. We cannot even recall a single of all those vocabs that they have been learning for a long period of time." So that's what I want to know from you.
Interesting question. And I've noticed that many people who learn vocabularies on daily basis, or every time they watch something or read something, they learn vocabularies from there. They write down they write down all the vocabularies they have come across, the new words, but they don't revise it again, right? So that revision is very required at certain period of time. Like after 2 days, you have to revise that word, then after 3 days, and you have to keep on using that in your speaking, right? It happens with me also that I've learned a few words in some time and then I forget it. But later on, when I'll be able to recall that word, I'll use it. So it's just not that you should know only one word in a particular concept. You should know synonyms of that word. So every time when you speak, you'll at least you'll be able to remember at least one word out of that, right? So you can use that. It is not important to use the complex word only. Whatever word you're able to recall at the moment, just use that. So try to learn synonyms of a single word. Let's suppose beautiful. So you have to learn the synonyms of beautiful, right? Gorgeous, right? What other synonyms are there? Whatsoever are there, right? What are there? Beautiful, elegant, gorgeous, right? I'm not able to recall right now, but there are many synonyms. So you can use that way, whatever you are able to recall, just use it because you have to be spontaneous. You need not to take a pause. Okay, so synonyms would help. And make a separate dictionary for yourself. Okay, purchase a notebook for yourself, and whatever words you are coming across on daily basis, whatever words you like, write down that in your copy in your notebook and with its meaning and with few examples, few everyday example that you can actually use in your life, and try to make different sentences with that. So that would definitely help. You have to bring that to your speaking, right? So that's the only way where in which you can learn vocabularies, or you'll be able to memorize all those vocabulary. Revision is the only thing.
Oh, that's great. Now I can relate because whatever you are speaking, that's something based on practical experience. You are not even sharing any bookish information with me, and that's something that we all are looking for. And one more thing, there are many people, they are afraid of making mistakes. They feel that if I speak English and I make mistake, people are going to laugh at me. They are going to criticize me. So, what you want to say about it?
Mhm. I would say they should not pay heed to all the criticism they are getting, because other people don't want you to grow in life. That is why they keep on criticizing. If someone is your well wisher, they'll always give you constructive feedback that if you may be lacking at some point, they'll provide solution at the same time that you should work in this manner, this particular manner. So always pay heed to someone who is your well wisher, not with someone who is, letting you down with by every means. So don't pay heed to them and keep on going on your journey, right? You have to be totally focused on your goal and just enjoy the process.
Well, that's really a good technique that one has to follow to avoid hesitation, shyness just because of mistakes. And
Mhm.
I have listened on many videos that teachers have been suggesting to their students that think in English, think in English. But I just want to know from your side how one can think in English, what he can
Mhm.
do for it.
From my perspective, it's not very easy to think in English for beginners. Later on, you become habitual to English language, so it's easy for you to think in English, and then also you stuck at times. For beginners, I would say they can start with whatever words they know in English. They can think in both Hindi and English, like a mix of Hindi and English. So this is how they have to start. Initially, they might be able to do it 30% of English in Hindi, and with regular practice, they'll be able to add few more vocabularies. Like with the in the process of exposing themselves to English, they'll be able to add on more and more vocabularies to their English, right? So in thinking also, they'll be able to add more and more words to their sentences in the process. So start with 30%, then 50%, then 90%, and at some point in future, you'll be totally at 100%. You'll be able to think in English, all sentences you'll be able to make in English. At this level also, I am at. I'm not able to think about every other sentences in English. Sometimes I get stuck, so I take help from these tools, English related tools, like sometimes with Chat GPT, or take help from someone who's really a good speaker. So you will stuck. You'll get stuck because English is a very wide language. There are many sentences that you want to frame. So you will not be able to frame each and every sentence. You might get stuck at some time. So don't feel discouraged about it because it happens with everyone. Even in Hindi or even in our mother tongue, we get stuck sometimes. So that is totally normal, natural, and it's practical. So just keep on working on yourself. You'll definitely grow every day. You'll not be stuck at the same point. If you'll keep on working on yourself, you'll grow every day as, to some extent. And at some point in future, you'll be perfect in this English language.
Oh, that's really impressive. And as you said, like you teach English online. So I just want to know from your side if a beginner or at like the one who is at intermediate level will come to you and he wants to learn English from you. So how do you start your teaching?
Mhm. I always focus on speaking. I always encourage them to speak from the very first day, right? And I focus on activities like storytelling. I provide them pictures, random pictures, whatever, comes to my mind, or I just randomly search from internet and provide them. the picture, and I ask them to describe the picture in their own words. Sometimes I ask them to not just describe that this is there is a tree, there is a box, but try to make a story around it, to take their creative side out. So that would they feel really content after that, that I'm able to make a story out of it. Because this is very childish thing when people say that there is a table, there is a chair, there is a board. These are very basic sentence, right? But if you want to level up, so you have to bring out your creative thinking as well. You have to think out of the box. So storytelling is what definitely help you in your speaking as well. When you're able to tell a story, so that will help you in setting the tone of your language you're speaking, right? Another thing I do, I give them challenges. Like they have to record their video every day. I give them topics. So that challenge will also help them in building their confidence, right? And then there are some spontaneous topics and jam techniques that everyone is using. And I don't focus much on grammar. And whatever I feel like, if there is a requirement that the other person is making a lot of grammar mistake, then I help them understand the concept and try to try to help them in using that in their speaking. So these are some basic techniques that we use, and these are very helpful techniques because we only have to prompt them to speak. The more they speak, the more they'll become confident in their speaking journey. We just have to guide them and mentor them wherever they are going wrong, right?
Okay, wow, that's really awesome. And actually, I'm done with my all questions. So at last, I want to just pass the message to my viewers, those who are co-learners and beginners. By listening this particular message, they can boost their confidence and they feel quite motivated. To what do you want to say to them?
Hmm. I must say that these days English learners are juggling with lots of things because there are many videos available on internet, and there are many people who will unnecessarily impose their instructions or their suggestions on you. But you need not to listen to anyone. You can watch many videos. You can watch as many videos as you come across on YouTube. But always try on different things, but whatever approach you find best for you, try to follow that. If you like reading, then continue with reading, right? If you like watching something, continue with watching. It's not that somebody has told you that watch videos, listen to podcast and write all these things. But if you feel really boring of any particular task, don't do it. Don't waste your time in such things if you are really not interested in that. But if you're interested in watching and listening, you can do just by watching and listening as well, because you are learning vocabulary, you are gaining vocabularies, you are gaining context and everything from there also. So try to follow the approach that best suits you or you enjoy, right? If you have enough time to do all these things, that will definitely help you to become a holistic, to develop your English in a holistic manner. All these approaches would definitely help, but don't waste your time in something that you are really feeling bored of. So that's my message, because I also don't follow each and everything like LSRW. I don't follow everything, but whatever I feel interested in, whatever mood I am in, I'm in a mood of watching something, I'll watch. I'll just not waste my time in reading if I'm not interested in reading then. Right. Do you agree with me here?
I do agree with you with some of my disagreement, and in case of my disagreement, which I want to share with you, it will take time. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, some other day, definitely I'll tell you about it, like why I'm not completely agree with you. But yes, when it comes to why I'm agree with you, because the shoes fit for you might pinch others, which simply means the tips and tricks which works for me may not work for someone else, and that's the reality. So we should not become a parrot of someone that we are blindly following the things now. We need to have our own study, because I believe I am not a student of psychology, but still, every single person has his own best pattern in order to acquire things, in order to grasp knowledge from somewhere. All right. So you need to find your best pattern which works for you, which suits to you. Otherwise, if you will follow someone else or stepping stone, or if you just follow someone's instruction as he has given to you, so it may not work for you. That you just want to implement and then you are looking for some advancement and modification in spoken English. That's not possible. So listen to everyone, but again, at the end of the day, you need to find your best pattern which can work for you. And by following that particular pattern, you may learn this language the way you have decided in your initial stage. So
Right.
that's
I'm
all I
sure
can
this
say.
would help.
Yeah.
Right. This
Okay,
would
ma'am.
definitely help our
Uh,
learners.
Yes, again. And thank you for answering my all these questions. I've enjoyed a lot because you have given a very profound insight of yours. Every single answer was based on your practical experience, and it's not something that you are reading from somewhere and then you're speaking. Because I believe the one who has covered his journey, when he is sharing his journey, we can learn from his journey a lot, rather than learning something from books and all. Right.
Right.
Okay, so thank you, Mom, for giving your precious time and connecting with me. It was really lovely talking to you, and it was a really fruitful and informative conversation with you, which I have enjoyed. Hopefully, you as well. So, in future, we'll talk about some other aspect of this language.
Surely, surely. I totally love this session. I'm looking forward to meet you again.
Yes, likewise. So, see you, ma'am. Keep enlightening us with your vast knowledge and experience, which you have gained so far. And yes, keep illuminating every single person.
Yes, for sure. And likewise to you also, and have a great day ahead. Thank you for joining this session with me.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care.